Hey, what is up guys, BAKBossman here, and today I'm playing Battlefield 4 on the map Paracel Storm, and I'm using the AK-12 along with a pistol that I don't know the name of. And I eventually switch over to the sniper, which I fail at, and then onto the light machine gun, where I do pretty well with. I got Battlefield 4 for Christmas, so I'm still a noob at it. I'm not that great, but you know, it's really fun. I'm playing it more than Call of Duty because Call of Duty's, I've been playing it for many years and it's just old now. So, you know, of course Battlefield's going to be new. It's new to me, you know, more fun. So, but let's get into what I wanted to talk about today. The time I got arrested, with air quotes. So, pretty much what happened was, it was summer. I was about 13, 12 maybe? I don't know. I don't know what age. I was young. It was a while ago. But me and 3 other friends. It was me, Adam, Jason, Billy, and Brandon. Yeah. Okay. It was 3 other guys and me. It was 4 of us all together. And one summer night we were bored, you know, doing nothing. So we went, there was this storage facility, you know, like U-Haul and you know, all those places where you could store stuff, and yeah. So there was a way to get up on the roof of those, and there were 2 of them, and there was an alley in between, so it was cool, and it was right on the side of train tracks. So what we did is we went there, we got on the roofs, we brought rocks up with us, and we had a rock war. So we were throwing rocks at each other. We were on these 2 different roofs, so we had a team. I was on a team with my friend, who was I on a team with? Oh, I was on a team with Brandon, and then Billy and Jason were on the other roof, and Adam was down in the center being the referee. So, pretty much, we're throwing rocks at each other, which is really stupid. So, these are big rocks too. They're the rocks on side of train tracks. They're not little stones. So, we're throwing rocks at each other, thinking this is awesome. Nobody's getting hit. And then eventually, Jason gets hit in the neck. I think it was Brandon's throw, because I was trying to hit people, but not like hard, like I was lobbing them. And also we would throw rocks at trains as they went by. So it was like SEPTA trains, or, you know, public transit trains that would go by, and we would throw rocks at them. And we would hit them because they weren't that far away. So we would hear them hit, and we'd be like, ha 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 ha. So then Jason goes down. He's on the roof holding his neck. So he's down on the ground. We're still throwing because we're like, he's faking it. So then eventually he gets up and he's just sitting there, and he looks behind him, and there's a cop coming rushing down the street. And it was a cop from another town, because we didn't know it just looked like a normal car, because they didn't have the sirens on top, because it was you know, they had the license or sirens in the front and the windshield. So we pretty much didn't notice, and he comes racing up, and then the lights flash, and we're like, oh crap, we run. We jump off the roof. The roofs are like 10 feet high. We just jump. So me and Billy and Jason run up the train tracks up to the main road, which was really stupid. My one friend Brandon runs down another alleyway, and he gets away. He gets home fine. He's scot-free. And then pretty much Adam, I don't know what happened to him. He ran somewhere, and then eventually he got caught. He just walked up to the main road too. So we're standing there, and there's like 3 cops surrounding us, and I'm scared as all hell because I'm like, what is happening? I was like, I didn't know. I knew it was wrong to be up on the roof because, 1, it's trespassing, and we were throwing rocks, but I didn't think that would happen that crazily. So we're at the train tracks, and the cops are there, and they're like, blah, 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 and then Jason is crying up a storm. Billy was crying like crazy. Adam wasn't crying that much, but he was teared up, and then I honestly, to me, I wasn't crying at all. I was making a joke of it, but I might have been tearing up. I don't know. I don't know. I remember. No, I wasn't crying at all. I was like, can we go home or whatever? I forget. But I wasn't crying. Everyone else was crying. Brandon's home. He's scot-free. So they put us in the black police car, and we get in, and they start to drive away, and Jason's like, I'm gonna throw up, and he's bawling. He is crying the most out of everybody. He was the youngest. He was like 11, and he's crying so much. And the cop stops, pulls over, and lets him out. And he just sits there, and he's, you know, hunched over, about to throw up. He doesn't. We get back in the car. We go down to the police station. So we're there, and the guy, you know, they're asking us all these questions like, why were you up there, blah, blah, our information, our name, our address, where we live, our parents' numbers, so they can call our parents. And they were like, we saw someone else with you. Who was it? And you know, as people, you know, snitches get stitches, alright? I wasn't talking, Adam wasn't talking, Billy was talking. He was saying everything. I'm just sitting there like, are you serious? Like, this kid is a phony. He, you know, we never told on each other. We always said we wouldn't tell on each other if we ever got caught doing something. And he's over here, you know, giving, you know, telling everybody everything. So I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, come on, shut up. And, you know, eventually the cop's like, do you have Brandon's phone number? And Billy's like, yeah. And he gives him his house number. And the cop calls his house and has Brandon's mom bring him to the station. And at this time, they took Adam, Jason, and Billy home. And I'm still there because my mom said she was going to come pick me up. So the other police officer took the other three home. And I'm there sitting by myself, you know, just sitting there. I'm really bored. I was sitting there for like an hour and nobody was coming to pick me up because I had little brothers and sisters at home. So now eventually Brandon and his mom come walking in and his mom is pissed. She is so angry because this is like 9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night now that we're sitting here and Brandon has to come to the station. So the cop's like, blah blah blah, you know, getting his information, and luckily they didn't put it on our record or nobody pressed charges, thank God. Now that I think about it, because if that happened, that would have been horrible because we would have had to go on to court and, you know, done all that stuff. And as a little kid, like 12 years old, you're terrified of that. You don't want to do that, especially me. I would have gotten my ass whooped. So this happened, and Brandon, you know, his mom, they sit there for a little bit and then they're like, blah blah, don't do this again or else, you know, next time we will have you arrested and, you know, you will be detained. So Brandon gets to go home and I'm still sitting here by my freaking self. I'm sitting at the police station and eventually the cops, you know, warming up to me and we're talking and, you know, they're like, why were you doing this? I was just like, we were honestly bored. So eventually my mom calls, well, my stepmom, and she's like, I can't come pick him up. Can you please bring him home? So at this time, I'm scared. I'm really scared because I know I'm going to get in big trouble. And because I'm the oldest, and I should know better, apparently, and everyone else is only a few months or a few years younger than me. So, this happens. They take me home. His name was Eddie Way. Unfortunately, he passed away. He was actually a cool guy. He was a cool cop. But, he passed away from a heart attack, I think. But, they take me home and my stepmom opens the door and freaking just stares at me down. She's being nice and polite to the police officer. And then as soon as I'm in that house, I was thrown up the steps. Go to your room. And she calls my dad. My dad calls and he starts screaming at me. He's like, you better stay awake until I get home. And I was like, oh shit, damn it. And I was really scared. So I sit there in my room, you know, I couldn't do anything, so I just pulled out, like, Legos. I was just playing with Legos for a little bit, because that's all I had to do. They took everything else out of my room. So she let me play with Legos for a while. And then at 11 o'clock, my dad calls back, and he lets me go to bed. So then, the next morning, my dad, because he's not exactly the best person either, when he was younger, he had some run-ins with the, you know, police, and so he understood. He's like, you know, you're my child, and I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. So the next morning, nothing really horrible went down. He just yelled at me a little bit and, you know, he's like, don't do it again and blah blah blah. He's like, this isn't you, you know. And then I was grounded for 2 weeks and I was really angry because Adam, he wasn't angry. I mean, he wasn't grounded, Billy wasn't grounded, and Jason wasn't grounded. I was the only one that got grounded, and Brandon got grounded for like a day or two. It was bullcrap because I was grounded for 2 weeks. And because the police said Adam and all them played it off as if they didn't mean any harm. They didn't mean to do it, and they were pulled into it, and they were, you know, I made them do it. So I was grounded for 2 weeks, and they weren't. It was complete bullcrap. So eventually I got ungrounded, and I never talked to Jason or Billy again because they were scumbags, and well, Jason wasn't really. Billy paddle-tailed, and I didn't like that. I talked to Brandon and Adam, and then I moved. I moved to another place. I sometimes still talk to Adam, not much Brandon or any of them anymore. So, yeah, that's the time I kind of got arrested. I don't think I left anything out. Oh, yeah, when we were little, we had this little thing it was called the Village Gang, because we lived in this place that everyone called it the Village. So it was the village gang. It was us few little boys, you know, little kids, and we thought we were so cool, you know, village gang, yeah, what up, for real, for real. So yeah, but that's the time I got almost arrested. Well, it's not really arrested. I got, you know, taken to the police station, I guess. I was taken downtown. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this gameplay as you were listening to my little story. So guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, be a boss.